If this doesn't represent Indiana's stamp on the world, then what does? This is May. This is Indianapolis.
Drivers, start your engines!
This is the time Hoosiers celebrate the greatest spectacle in racing. And this, our month-long commitment to provide perspective on how the business of motorsports is driving big bucks into the Hoosier economy.
Joseph Newgarden is a two-time Indy 500 winner! Oh my goodness!
This is Inside Indiana Business, Business at the Brickyard, presented by Liuna with support from the City of Westfield and Daniels Family Vineyard and Winery.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gerry Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, and Liuna.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gerry Dick, coming to you this week from the new Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum as we continue our month-long Business at the Brickyard series, a look at the economic impact of motorsports in the state of Indiana. And no doubt this museum will play a continually bigger role in that economic impact going forward. The museum, which originally opened in 1976, reopened about a month ago after a 17-month, $60.5 million renovation, creating an entirely new experience that, thanks to technology, allows you to literally feel the Indy 500 on race day. The new IMS Museum is 40,000 square feet of space, showcasing 55,000 artifacts, from Gasoline Alley to every race car you can imagine, to the Penske Gallery, which provides an up-close and personal look at the motorsports success and impact of IMS owner Roger Penske.
To have a museum here with our artifacts, I'll call them. The car in 51 that I was here when I won with my dad back in 51 is here. Lee Wallard's car, our four-wheel drive car, and then the rings, the engines, the uniforms, and all the interactive is special. And we tried to make it special because this is who we are.
Along with the old, there's plenty of new here. $25 million has been set aside to create a dedicated educational curriculum and new programs, along with the space focused on science, technology, engineering, and math. And the early returns are positive. Traffic at the museum in April doubled that of April in 2023, and memberships are at 4 times projections. And joining me now with more, pleased to be joined by Allison Melangton, the Senior Vice President at Penske Entertainment. Allison, we're here at this, it's in the same place, but a very different museum. Your initial thoughts and the reaction that folks have had.
Well, this is a fabulous property for Indianapolis. I think it's a game changer for the entire city because this museum nationally and internationally is going to get a reputation for a must-see for sure.
Yeah, so there's economic impact. I know we'll see, ultimately what those are. But as you talk about the tourist destinations in Indianapolis, and we get so many people here through tourism, this will become one of those spots. And again, that means economic impact.
Absolutely. And Visit Indy, for example, they'll be able to sell this and use this as an attraction for the different conventions that they're bringing in. So it's really got something for everyone, every single age, and you can spend hours in here. So it's going to be a real game changer for the city going forward.
As you look at the economic impact of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, IndyCar racing, it is substantial, certainly, but it goes beyond that in terms of grassroots outreach to get people here and to get them fired up about the month of May. That takes a number of ways that kind of unfold, among them these porch parties that have become pretty popular.
Yeah, we want to own May. Just like March Madness owns March, we want to own May globally, not just in Indianapolis. So we've created a lot of different civic programs to welcome all the visitors that come. And porch parties has been a great one. This year we've upped that even more. We have several going on. We had Avon and Speedway and Fishers and Zionsville. So that's all worked really well to bring people in and really show them what Indianapolis can do in welcoming visitors.
That's close to home, but you're branching out far beyond that to every quarter of the state as you look at the Fan Fest, which again grew this year once again.
Yeah, we want to be able to bring the spirit of the Indy 500 and all that it means and having it for 109 years in our city around the state. Because if you can't get to Indianapolis for the race, we want to bring a little bit to you. So this year we went to Bloomington, we went to Fort Wayne, and we went to Evansville, and we're going to continue to expand that. And it's a great thing to be able to bring that celebratory spirit, information about the drivers to those cities.
Do you think that's working? Because I know that grassroots outreach, it's a lot of work.
Yes.
You know, you're traveling all over the place, meeting with groups large and small. Do you think it's gaining some traction?
Yeah, I think people really look forward to it. They look forward to engaging. Typically we have Doug or a driver or someone there, and so it really is getting into, as you say, the grassroots where it's one-on-one, that we can talk to people about the Indy 500 and it's not just that day, it's the whole month. And to be proud of living in a state that hosts it.
There's also a unique partnership, Welcome Race Fans, I think that you implemented with the 100th running in 2016. That's a partnership with the arts community.
Yeah, I've always believed in all my different jobs in Indianapolis that sports and arts can coexist and support each other and lift each other up. And so we do a great program partnered with the Indy Arts Council that we pick 5 local artists to do renditions of some type of Welcome Race Fans, and then we use that in our decor around the city and typically on the Arts Garden. And it's been just a great partnership. And as you go around the country and you talk about the sports arts partnerships, it's rare. In all the cities around the country, it's one of the things I think that differentiates us, the way we look at that, partnerships instead of competition.
Yep. Allison Melangton, Senior Vice President of Penske Entertainment, thanks for joining us.
Welcome to May.
Absolutely, it's here. Well, coming up next, a different take on how four wheels are driving big bucks into the Indiana economy.
10,000, 581 in. Last call, $510,000. Sold $500,000. Sold $500,000. Travis Delzell.
Muscle cars, hot rods, classics, you name it. And it's probably on the auction block at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. That story when we come back. Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You know, Indiana is a car state, an automotive state in a big way. From the parts manufacturers and assembly plants around the state to just simply car enthusiasts. And those car enthusiasts are in for a real treat this month at the Indiana State Fairgrounds with the 38th annual Dana Mecum Original Spring Classic.
$1,150,000. So $1,125,000. Telephone, Dana.
And it is a big one. Last year, more than 2,800 unique cars and trucks auctioned off with sales totaling $108 million.
Sold!
This year's Mecum Spring Classic featured more than 3,000 collector cars and vehicles, making it one of the largest auctions of its kind in the United States. The Indy auction has topped $100 million in sales for the past 4 years and attracted bidders from all over the country, many of whom saw something they probably haven't seen before.
There are some unique cars, some very, very low production cars. In fact, McLaren builds this Ultimate Series, and there are limited production cars, one of only 25 built. There were only 300 McLaren Speedtails built. These are $1 million cars I'm talking about. So very, very rare oftentimes. But, you know, Mecum's bread and butter since the very beginning has been muscle cars. And this is a great mixture of muscle cars, Corvettes, race cars. There is definitely an Indy 500 vibe on many of the cars here.
This year's Mecum auction ended a 9-day run Saturday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds.
Here's what's making news around Indiana. Brought to you by the Indiana Association of Realtors. Indiana's 21,000 realtors. The neighbors you know, the experts you can count on.
And it's time now to get caught up with news making headlines around Indiana. Swiss pharmaceutical and diagnostics giant Roche has big plans for Indiana. The company announcing plans to spend up to $550 million and add hundreds of jobs at its North American Diagnostics headquarters in Indianapolis. The goal is to make Indianapolis a manufacturing hub for Roche's continuous glucose monitoring system, and as part of Roche's previously announced plans to invest $50 billion in the U.S. over the next 5 years. Slate Auto is sharing more information about what drove them to choose Warsaw as the location for a production facility. The company launched in 2022 and focuses on producing affordable electric vehicles. Slate is moving into the former LCS Communications building and is expected to bring 2,000 jobs to the area.
Reindustrialization is so important to the mission of Slate, not only putting people back to work and putting people to work in the U.S., but doing it where we don't have to build a new factory to bring something back to life. So as we zeroed in on Indiana, we were lucky to find this space in Warsaw.
The company says its goal is to produce 150,000 vehicles per year. Customer deliveries scheduled to start in the fourth quarter of 2026. Knopf Insulation Inc. is expanding its operations in Shelbyville, the company adding a dedicated blowing wool line to its plant, which makes fiberglass insulation. The company's CEO cites fast-growing demand and consumer interest as reasons for the expansion, but did not say if any new jobs would be added. Well, shifting our attention now to another big strategy here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the IndyCar Series as well, and that is the increasing emphasis on marketing the brand through the power of storytelling and television. Rachel Redmond now with more on how a docuseries called 100 Days to Indy is serving as a big growth driver for the sport.
I'm frightened.
From commentary with Indy's own David Letterman.
It's my first day in show business. Hello? Have I been cued?
It's going to be a great day. It's nice to be part of history.
You're minutes away from watching an event that has been posted for more than a century and causes the hair on the back of your hands to stand up.
Drivers, start your engines!
The hit docuseries 100 Days to Indy is shifting into high gear.
The greatest spectacle in racing!
As it enters its third season.
The docuseries 100 Days to Indy has been great for the drivers and for us. It's taking people behind the scenes off the track and giving them a glimpse into what it's like in the lives of the race car drivers and their wives and their children. You know, many of these drivers are dads and our husbands, and to see them behind the scenes and what it takes to get ready for a race physically and mentally makes you understand the characters.
It's Newgarden on the high side! Newgarden on the top side! Newgarden has done it!
The Indianapolis 500 is our mecca. It's our Super Bowl.
The 6-part unscripted series produced by Penske Entertainment follows top IndyCar drivers in the final stretch before they hit the bricks at the Indy 500.
It's not just us as race car drivers in front of a camera. We're people that have day-to-day struggles that are the same as everyone else. We have the emotional aspect of it. You have the pressures to perform and succeed that everyone else has in their day-to-day lives. And I think that making this a more relatable sport to people is something that's a huge priority of ours. 100
Days to Indy is the brainchild of Emmy Award-winning producer Patrick Diamond.
We get to go behind the scene of what you don't see on the broadcast, before and after, and what you don't see on their social media. There's highs and there's lows, so we really get to show the world, who these teams and who these drivers are, and I think that to me is the most special part.
Is back in the championship mix.
Way to go, boys.
Mary Rachel Redmond, Inside Indiana Business.
Still ahead, a familiar name in IndyCar racing, marking a milestone.
Sam Schmidt is celebrating 25 years of helping conquer paralysis. We'll tell you how that mission is stronger than ever here at his new center, coming up in the Business of Health.
Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. There is one name in motorsports that has become synonymous with heartbreak and hope. Sam Schmidt's life changed 25 years ago when he was involved in a racing accident in Florida that left him a quadriplegic. Since then, Sam has led the charge to help others in his condition. Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta has that story.
Thanks, Gary. The Driven Neuro Recovery Center opened here in Indy 7 months ago, and there's still so much more they want to do, like turn this space into an adaptive sports arena so they can keep changing even more lives.
Like so many of the clients at the Driven Neuro Recovery Center powered by NeuroHope, Rebecca Thomas's life has been touched by tragedy.
That's why this place definitely was saved me.
Rebecca's accident happened on a family vacation in Florida.
I was opening the window in the middle of the night just to get some fresh air because it was hot, and the bed was like too close to the window. The window kind of stuck and it pushed me out.
Rebecca fell 17 feet and laid on the ground for hours before her family found her in the morning. The accident left her without feeling from the waist down.
My life was definitely changed that night. It's never been the same.
The biggest challenge, learning to be a mom of 4 in a wheelchair.
It's been hard. So a lot of days I feel like I'm failing at it. You know, I'm doing it. So, and that's why I keep doing it, is because I do hope that they see me working my butt off.
Let's take some steps. Take your time. Small steps. Let's say small steps.
And this is her battleground. Now open for 7 months and serving some 200 clients, Sam Schmidt's vision is coming to life.
The month of May is a big month for us.
And this May, the biggest yet.
25 years ago, a dream was born out of tragedy.
Sam Schmidt's foundation, Conquer Paralysis Now, is celebrating its 25th anniversary. The nonprofit supports the first Driven Center in Vegas, research, and the new Driven Center in Carmel.
Come celebrate with us.
Sam Schmidt's annual gala will raise funds for the center's next big goal, turning this space into an adaptive sports arena.
You know, it warms my heart that even 25 years after the accident, the racing community still comes out for this situation.
We would not be where we are without sponsors, but we're really delving into partnerships, right? We want somebody who's going to walk alongside us, and the return on investment is that people's lives are actually changing.
Squeeze through your glutes.
Focused on the fast-paced demands of being a mom, Rebecca had come to accept life in a wheelchair.
There wasn't a lot of hope when I was in the hospital, and they just said, you will not walk again. So balance is my hardest thing that I struggle with. Can I do it? I can do it too. I'm going to do it.
The machine's got you and I got you.
The new center has inspired Rebecca to fight harder than ever.
I started getting stronger. I started gaining weight. I started, for the first time, having kind of some muscles.
Now, 5 years after her accident, she's taking the boldest steps of her life.
I can stand up on my own. I'm taking about 15 steps. I believe I will walk again. It is my goal, and if it takes me another 5 years, I'll be here.
Sam Schmidt's Racing to Recovery Gala is a marquee event in May in Indianapolis, and it's just days away. Their goal this year is $2 million. Gerry, back to you.
All right, Kylie, thank you. Certainly Sam Schmidt's work to empower people with spinal cord injuries making a big difference.
Time now for our Eye on Education, brought to you by PNC Bank.
We begin in northern Indiana, where Goshen College just tripled the size of its nursing facilities. The $21 million Center for Nursing and Public Health will give students the chance to train in areas like intensive care and labor and delivery. With the expansion, the school is hoping to double the number of students in its nursing program. Eli Lilly and Company is investing big time in the future of healthcare through an expanded partnership with Purdue University. Lilly Purdue 360 is focused on efforts including leveraging AI to speed drug discovery, strengthening the pharma supply chain, and developing a strong, skilled workforce. Lilly is investing a whopping $250 million into the ambitious effort, which Purdue President Mung Chiang says has the potential to be the largest industry academic partnership of its kind in the nation. When we come back, taking a victory lap at restaurants around the state. This month's Trendiana segment with can't-miss eats near legendary Hoosier racetracks. Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the racing capital of the world, where if you don't have a cooler filled with food and drinks, you can always make your way to the expanding concession offerings here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Maybe grab a Hoosier tenderloin, a hot dog, or maybe a cold beer. Food, drinks, and racing go hand in hand in Indiana, not just here at IMS, but outside dozens of racetracks from every corner of the state. Yelp's Brittany Smith here now with more in this month's Trendiana.
In the spirit of all things racing, this month we're hitting the road to check out 5 of the top-rated eateries on Yelp found near Indiana's racetracks. We're kicking things off here at Mexico City Kitchen, not too far from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This spot gets rave reviews for their beautiful atmosphere, some hard-to-find menu items, as well as some standout dishes like the tamales fritos, the aguas frescas, the pozole rojo and verde, as well as the chilaquiles. They have a delicious menu, and really you can't go wrong with whatever you order on their menu. Next up, we're heading to Lou's Family Diner in Putnam County, not too far from Putnam Park Road Course. They are known for their country fried steak and beef Manhattans. Definitely got your Midwest comforts on the menu here. Also want to mention that Lou's has breakfast and incredible prices, and their biscuits and gravy will have you filled up for less than $5. They're known for their stacks of pancakes, fluffy French toast, and coffee, as well as just hearty dishes all throughout the menu.
To the green at Kokomo.
Next up, heading to Kokomo for Ray's Drive-In, not too far from the Kokomo Speedway. They are known for the King Tenderloin. It's as big as your head, and it's hard to find one much larger than this one. It's definitely got classic Midwest nostalgia at this business with the drive-in setting. And they're also known for their daily specials and a breakfast menu. It's a really good blast from the past kind of restaurant to check out. Next up, we're heading to West Main Tavern in Syracuse. This charming fine dining restaurant is located just a stone's throw from New Paris Speedway. Their highlights on the menu include the shrimp scampi and the salmon, and the customers rave about their elegant interior and classic dishes. It's also a great option for a nightcap if you've been at the New Paris racetrack all day. Menu changes weekly, and they offer themed dinners from time to time. And as for the atmosphere, you can expect an open concept kitchen and speakeasy vibes.
Feature action is underway at the Tri-State Speedway.
And last but not least, we're heading to Hobbs Steakhouse in Hobstadt near Evansville, near the Tri-State Speedway. They have been open for more than 50 years, and standouts on the menu include the Delmonico steaks, the buttery bacon wrap fillets, and the indulgent twice-baked potatoes. They carefully select their meats and age them in their in-house locker. It's a quieter and quaint setting, and the reviews rave about the ambiance and the chef's skills. Whether you're heading to the track this month or not, we hope this inspires you with 5 great local spots to check out in your neck of the woods. Happy Racing Month, and back to you, Gerry.
Well, kind of makes you hungry for some Hoosier race grub. Well, that's all the time we have for this week's edition of Inside Indiana Business. We'll be back next week with the final installment of our Business at the Brickyard series. Thanks for joining us. I'm Gerry Dick. Go out and make it a successful week. Get ready for full throttle coverage as we shift into high gear for Business at the Brickyard, presented by LiUNA with support from the City of Westfield and Daniel's Family Vineyard and Winery. We're giving you the inside track on the powerful connection between motorsports and the Indiana economy. Join us at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for exclusive interviews, behind-the-scenes access, and the stories that drive the business of motorsports. So buckle up and join us for Emmy Award-winning Business at the Brickyard coverage all month long.